Chinese modders with more slop. Made you have to make more branch. Is that because their content is that because it's bad enough that it makes you want to outdo it? Or is that seeing work to get done inspires you to do work as well? Hello, Buggo. Is that a Hollow Knight icon next to your name? Can we get a ban in the chat immediately, mods? Can it be only slept? Hollow Knight players, SMH. SMH. Tease with this one? I gotta find something. Obviously, like I'm morally obligated to. And I mean, I look at your profile, I see that it's. Honestly, I was tempted to not, just because it was like so easy. I'm gonna restart my game after this, even if it risks crashing my PC. I feel it's looking weird on the bottom. I feel like I'm almost skipping. It's so exciting. I'm not a player of that genre or anything, but someone who even plays like on the hardest difficulty and tries to do hardest challenges things. Any of the people who are out there who are like talking shit about the people who are using the mod that makes it so you take less damage is just redacted. Like, no, you're supposed to play the game as hard as possible. If you mod the game and make it easier for yourself, you're taking away from the experience. I love that. Okay, let's see if my computer crashes. Okay, I think we're good. It almost crashed upon startup earlier. Which I haven't had an issue with in like a week or two. Although I always still ponder. Because Castlevania-like type games are very popular. There's no denying that by any means. But I've always sat here and be like, why is Hollow Knight so popular? Like most games in that genre feel like having a cult-like following, and I'm not saying a cult-like in a bad way, but like certainly the type of following it has, which is good for games like that in my opinion. But like, Hollow Knight is all like, it can't just be that it's like it plays better. In my, I don't. I would, you know, if people want to sit down and say, oh, it's the gameplay wise, it's the best. Maybe it's the hardest. I wouldn't believe that necessarily, but like I could be convinced. Mechanically controls the best or something. And there's a number of games in that genre that have that occult-like following that are fairly popular. But Hollow Knight has always like stood out as like a slight tier above. Maybe not a slight tier, but a noticeable tier above. And I've never understood why. Maybe the devs just Yuri posts on Twitter. Well, we know that the reason Touhou is popular is because of Yuri, right? It's because it's Yuri bait, and that's what makes anything popular. Cute game. I'm not going to deny that. Like, it's not my genre by any means, but like, I've never understood why it has stood like I said, a lot of the games in that genre have an occult-like following, which is good. It's fine. Kind of what you'd expect, and it's not bad. But I've always felt like Silksong is a step above with that. No, not Silksong. I mean, Silksong kind of, but like Hollow Knight, because like Silksong is obviously the follow-up. It's just peculiar. Like, I could be left to believe it's something to do with content creators, almost. I believe... I stand by that one of the biggest reasons that FNAF exploded the way it is large part inspired by Markiplier. Not that that's any shame to that, per se, but, like... Really enjoy. I don't go that far in my sayings. I just go and say that it's... I don't care for that style of that genre. Really played to completion. The only Metroidvania type of game that I've played to completion is Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. And I played that with my friends. There was 4 of us we played through. I feel like I recognize that name, but I can't put anything to it. I have a friend who really likes a lot of Metroidvanias. And that's fine, but, like... Regalia. Bit of that. Nice. Bunny girl, a lot of bullet hell. I feel like it's... like, I'd have to actually go look at it. I feel like the name rings a bell. Maybe I'm smoking crack. I don't actually do crack, but... Maybe when I drank tea earlier, it was secretly laced with crack. I don't think so, but I'm not in a low-income community, so I don't think the CIA would target me like that, but you never know. Hello, Kageyama. Because the other thing about Hollow Knight, it's not even like the first, like, oops, that was stupid. It's not even the first, like, game in that genre, right? I mean, when I say right, like, question mark, like, I know that for fact. It's not even the first, like, popular game in that genre, too. Like, someone might sit down and go actually for something, but like I look at the Dark Souls type, like Dark Souls games, and I don't care for Dark Souls myself, but like Dark Souls gets a lot of like references baseline, and because it was, I don't know if it was like truly the first like that, or if there was like other like previous games that existed like that. But as far as my knowledge is like, if it wasn't the first, it was like one of the first that was like really that type of game, at least to the extent of it. And so I understand that aspect of it, but I always ponder, how old is Hollow Knight? It's not that old. I love that. I love that actually emote. When I first saw it, I was like, it's okay. It's really grown on me. I mean, Hollow Knight's made because there's no big titties on my screen. It's unbelievable. But then that question, why do I play Touhou? The game with the guy who makes it, well known for not really drawing Booba at all. You ask a great question. Okay, let's not. I want to score, but I shouldn't. I shouldn't even bother. But it's so tempting at times. And by at times, I mean like all the time. Would Hina be the best stripper in Gensokyo? Like, hypothetically. The Little Misfortune Storms. What the fuck are the Little Misfortune Storms? Don't cat react to the thing I previously said. It's an honest question. Saying she tends to like move around. She moves around a little bit. She kind of dances around. She spins the entire time. Okay. I'm just saying, in terms of like pole dancing, I feel like she'd have it down. Like, look at that! Look at that spin! She knows how to twirl. But what are the Little Misfortune Storms? Are you talking about the enemy she summons before the mid-boss? Or the mid-spell, I should say? She summons the dudes that the dudes that she summons that shoots at the rings. Is that what you're referring to? If that is true, Some of them drop faith on death, but, like, generally speaking, shooting enemies doesn't give you faith. But, like, the little things she summons when she moves around before the mid-spell do drop points and faith, as, like, most enemies do. But you have to pick them up. Like, the only times you gain faith are when you grab faith points, essentially. The only time you get them are from killing enemies or by beating boss patterns. Like, you notice right there, I beat that boss pattern and I get some faith. Otherwise, it's only, like, when you drop things. Pause the timer. I believe when I kill them, it adds to the timer, but the problem is, for each... Because, like, every time you kill an enemy, it does, like, add a little bit to the timer. But the problem is killing an enemy affects that, like, such a small amount. Like, it extends the timer, like, barely. That's actually why, for score purposes, you see me on that section. I kill the first two guys because they drop the big green faith points, which is worth 10,000 faith. But then I, birds. But then I actually stop shooting for a couple seconds, because when there's enemies on screen and your faith meter's not full, your faith degrades a lot slower than it does when there's no enemies on screen. So if I leave those two enemies while the faith drops, I can stall the timer out a little bit, then pick up the faith, kill the enemies, and then my faith timer will go back to normal as it would when I pick up items. Like, it'll fill up, like, all the way, and then I don't have to worry about stalling with enemies. Oops. See, I grabbed that faith quickly there, so I'm going to lose more points than I would otherwise. That's why I, like, right here will, like, score. I, like, wait to pick that up until pretty late. Kill these two guys, and I slow down here for a second. But you can look at the bottom left. There's little blips briefly when I kill the enemies. But when you kill an enemy, like, the amount of timer duration you're given is, like, minuscule. The timers do get paused during bosses, though. Or else it'd be a lot harder to gather faith in this game. Although most of faith generation really just comes down to don't get hit. Yeah, what... Like, you can see right here, every time I kill one of these enemies... Like, just how... you can see the bar get nudged slightly, but, like, how little it gets, like, affected for every enemy you kill. In a situation like here, where you kill a bunch of enemies in quick succession, you can actually see it, like, taking some noticeable effect, but you really have to kill a lot of enemies for the faith meter to, like, budge. Although, it's not necessarily giving you faith, it's just your faith cooldown, or whatever you want to call it, is affected by it. So I guess in a sense it kind of gives you faith, by making it take longer for you to lose faith. I like when she shoots this attack, because her shooting animation involves her spinning. But like, the shooting animation's short enough. Like, look at this. She's only gonna spin, like, halfway and then cancel the animation. Really can't see her spin in this attack. Of course you can on the final, because she spends the entire time shooting. But it's funny during that spell 1, because she spins during the attack animation, but... that was just... I hate this attack so much. Samson goes... I don't know, she goes like... she goes halfway like normally, and then she skips around. But... certified bot moment. Is that even true? Like... like, I've thought about this a bit. I have a lot of time I have a lot of spare time at work where I'm doing something, but I have, like, just ample time to sit there and ponder. I want cheap viewers, exactly. I want the rich viewers who are going to give me lots of money. Come on. Obviously. But... because, like, after streams, I like usually check, like, glance at my analytics. And, like, my average is up to, like, 8 or around 8, I believe. For view count, which, in all honesty, is actually, like, pretty high for Twitch. Then that's kind of... that's kind of just more, like, to showcase the fact that, like, the top streamers are, like, the ones who get, like, are just such a small minority of streamers, but they... you know, get the thousands to tens of thousands and maybe 100,000s of views. But, like, it's such a small minority of people doing it. And so, I wonder if... I've wondered, because, like, Touhou is not... like, if I really wanted... like, if I was like, oh, I want to do Twitch for a living, like, realistically, I would not stream Touhou. Okay? There's a reason I do this as a hobby and not... it's like, I gotta go pro. Because obviously, Touhou is not... like, if I really wanted to, like, there's other things I would do that aren't Touhou, right? But... you know, if you look at, like, other categories... like other popular categories, there's a lot more people streaming that, too. So, like, although you have more people watching some of those categories, you also have a lot more people who don't get people watching you, right? So, like, I feel like a large part of the small view, although, well, maybe not. Maybe not. But I feel like a fair bit of some viewership issue is the fact that, like, most people, when they click on a category, are going to click on the few top viewers in that category. And one thing that Touhou has, or doesn't really have, is massive people, right? Like, if you click on the Touhou category, it's like, Unless, like, unless the Touhou World Cup's going on. And even then. It's like, at any given time, it's like, in the category, you have Naro, and you have Asprey, who can hit over 100. And then what? Like, there are some other people that can hit, like, decent, like, double-digit numbers. Not gonna take anything against that, but, like, the reality is, it's like, I'd say there's a lot more... The floor, I think, is a little higher in Touhou, just because there's not a lot of it, per se. I also think that some of that, at least for me with this, is that Touhou is also not necessarily an easy game to stream and play at the same time. But I wonder how much of what I have is because of the fact they stream Touhou and everything I just said, or the fact that I've just been so persistent and relatively consistent with it for, like, almost a year and a half at this point. Your unbelievable SMH. Adblock. Well, as someone who technically makes money off of ads, what is wrong? I hate Ogani so much. It's every time I do it, it's like, there's one way. Like, left or right is good, and I go the wrong way. Well, I don't actually use ad blocker myself. I know it's weird, but, like, I will never not knock on people for using, or I will never knock on people for using ad blockers, and I will always be like, yeah, you should probably use one. Also, have there been the recent YouTube issue with it, where it's like they started not counting people watching with ad block as views? Which I'm pretty sure the only thing that really affects is sponsors. People who take sponsorships on YouTube. Hey, speaking of sponsorships, use the link down below to get 15% off your first purchase at Manscaped. If I ever take a sponsor on Twitch, especially if it's Manscaped, I need someone to drive to my house and kill me. I need to make it legally noted that please put me down in that situation. Like, it's for the better. And you should not be held liable for it. Okay, that was a good stage 1 boss. Time to run my 1-minute ad break. I try to reach out a lot, sometimes a little too much. I do quite enjoy interaction, especially because, like, a lot of Touhou is either kind of, like, practicing over and over, or, you know, kind of mindlessly going through the early game. And, A, I like interacting with people, and B, it is also kind of a distraction at times, which can be bad, but it also, like, is honestly kind of a good thing, too. I mean, it's pretty obvious when I look at analytics that, like, when the more talkative, the more engaging I am, the more people that tend to watch. But, like, also, generally, the better I play. Like, there's an extent of, like, where it's distracting at times, but, like, oftentimes I play the best when I'm ranting. Because if you get me talking, even if I'm like, even if me talking is about Touhou egg laying or pure furies or anything under the sun, really, it usually, like, even if it sounds like complaints, as long as it's not me like bitching about an attack in this game, it usually puts me in a good mood, and I tend to play better like that. Like, a lot of my best runs are off the backs of, like, I'm just kind of, like, ranting and raving, and next thing you know, I'm on, like, stage 5 of, like, a 1 miss pace. I'm like, how'd that happen? Gave her such a mug. What do you want yours to look like? I don't know what they look like. I really don't know what it is you're referring to in the first place. I have a few mugs. I have 5 of them, actually. I have three the same type of mug from my mom that are, like, just, like, snowflake mugs. Like, they're red with, like, white snowflakes on them. I have one that's a Batman mug, from, like, 10 years ago. And I have another that's a Hyperdimension Neptunia mug. And I do use them occasionally. I drink tea a couple times a week. Not that often, but sometimes before stream. Also, you said gamer subs. Am I... I'm not exactly familiar with the brand, but I'm pretty sure it's gamer subs. In Touhou and egg on 7TV, there's only eggplants. One of the, I guess, unfortunate natures of emotes is that there's kind of only so much you could fit in an emote, realistically. Hey, Heener. Why did I put you on the right wall? I'm the fucking worst at this attack! How come every time I do it, I literally pick the worst possible line? Like, there's always 3 paths on Ogane, and I always pick the worst one. Whatever, it's Friday, it's a late stream. You know, feel true. Listen, I'm playing Touhou later than I do every other day of the week, so, you know. That's excuse. Well, you know what else, guys? It's Friday. That means we're at the weekend. Means I get to go to bed tonight. I get to get done streaming. Go bathroom, probably, get a drink of water, and pass out in my bed. And then I get to sleep in. No, Chuno doesn't haunt my dreams. That's just hydro camouflage. At least Bumper Crop has been fine today. But you can't see it coming? Dude, that's such a good Persona reference. Okay, Hina. Holy shit, I lived a wave. Holy shit, I lived 2 waves! No one has ever done that! Holy moly. We actually made it to stage 3 just to die like a little punk. Hack a human. Oh. I don't know if I deserve that cap. That I am not at my A game right now. It's working, but it's making me a nervous. This is it. True. Like 5 minutes into like a 25-minute run, dude. This is it. What is this? Cat. Yeah, I didn't look at the image enough to pay too much detail. I didn't notice anything about the chair. Sorry. I think going left right instead of right left intuitively makes some sense, but I don't think it actually works on Illusionary Waterfall. I think that's been the issue I've been having with it as of late. Is the fact that it like intuitively makes sense, and when it works, it looks like it works really well, but I think it's actually a flawed game plan compared to going right-left. See, sometimes you can cook and come up with something. Sometimes you cook a little too hard. Hey everybody, say hello to Momiji. Because I don't know if I'll actually be seeing her later today, because she's disappeared mysteriously. Definitely not a Mariah Shrine conspiracy. But we can appreciate her here at least. Fuck me. What was that, Momiji? He was like, fine, 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 fine. Look, a tree! Just get a little frisky with them the last second. Sick. Okay, you know what? That bird that was a little too close with that one bird. Okay, unfortunately, there is a big bird in my way. Yeah. She's a lovely bird, but she is a in my way bird. Hate this nod. Come on, Aya, be generous. Oh man, I actually was doing well too, but that was disgusting! Oh, that was so gross there, Aya. What part of be generous did not get through the loudspeaker? That's still partly on me. I was playing too close. I wasn't playing ahead enough. I mean, it was still disgusting nonetheless, and I do not know if I would have gotten out of that had I been playing more aggressively than I should have. Or than I was, but not that I should have. What does that mean? But Peerless Wind God in action. Unfortunately, it giveth and it taketh away. Although again, that's partly on me. Like, I realized it partway through too, but like I couldn't change my, like what I'm looking at. I got trapped too low, and I was playing really too close to what was right in front of me, and not reading the pattern ahead enough. So I was really at the mercy of getting bad RNG'd with how I was playing. Although a little bit of good luck would have been, like, very content as well, you know, it would have been perfect. A-okay with getting some good luck there, but... Unless it is the nature of the game. I'm not... Dying to Fearless Wind God is a thing that'll happen. And it is a thing that'll happen a lot. I live Fearless Wind God a bit too, so it's like... Take what we get when we get it, right? She moved straight right. I don't like you, Sinai. I mean, I do like you, but like... I prefer if you went a little more up instead of right. Awkward AF line when she does that movement. Wait, go right first, you foolish fool of a cook. I really don't like this angle I put myself in. Yeah, that was a lot more awkward than it ever should be. Fuck my ass! That was way, way sketchier than it ever needed to be. Note this help. Always make sure you force the middle, even if it's a little tight. Fuck off, Aya. Actually, you're not Aya anymore. I already beat Aya, so you're Sinai. I go Aya goes, or Aya. I guess Sinai goes from not moving at all on the spell card to like she literally doesn't move like at all in the first spell, and now she like starts just moving like a billion times on this spell. Wait, when this attack started, did I see 69 seconds correctly? Dude, Zune predicted the Slug Knight. It's unbelievable. He knew it ahead of time. It's stage 5. Fucking hate you, Fairy. What was that? That line was really, really bad. A little tighter than it needs to be. Don't forget to kiss your Kaneko. Very important. Unpleasant set of events there, Kaneko. Okay, she kind of like lessened up right at the very, very end, but that was a not particularly pleasant Divine Virtues. Nice 2-miss. Yeah, just a 2-miss. I think that's my 4th 2-miss. So, pretty damn good. Pretty good. And it's my highest scoring 2-miss ever? Ooh, actually that's my 5th 2-miss. This series of just 2 misses and then a 3-miss. Okay, we're back in a sec after taking a breather for a minute. Doing runs like that takes a lot out of you. Whew. There's no promise I'll be able to get another good run going today at least. Yeah, it was like 30-second break. That run was proof. Hina's the hardest boss in the game. I'm just saying. Spent the entire day not be able to get past Hina. Boom, I get past Hina once, 2 miss. Is this or is this not proof that Hina's the hardest boss in the entire game? A bit of faith here. Go over, lost 10,000. I should probably reset. Oh, okay. Bumper Crop has been pretty chill on the day. I decided, nah, now is my moment. Yeah, that was just not great. It's Jover. You know what I say about Touhou runs. Just like sex, you can do it once and then you can't do it again for another 4 hours. Oops. It is truly cheering over. Ooh. Yeah, Rapash Shizua, the hardest boss in the game. Second hardest boss in the game. Hardest boss in the game is obviously Hina. Okay. This time for sure. Okay, Hina. Don't spin on me. Nice. You know, once again being actually free. We'll ignore, like, the dozen deaths to her earlier. Hacky human. Aka elf. It would be an elf. AN. You put the AN before things that have vowels. Nice. Okay, Kappa Papa. Hello, my candid friend. You don't have to move that much where only my homing is hitting you. Not necessarily the prettiest I've ever done, but if it gets the job done, who's to say it's bad? Okay, stage 4, I am back. Once again, the stage of hopes and dreams and everything else. When BG ever told you how much I love you? Aw, oh, dude, that was disgusting, Momiji. Oh, well. The game giveth, the game taketh. Also, yeah. I'm sorry, yeah. Oh man, that was so good too. That wasn't even that hard of a last dodge there. Oh, that time I was actually playing so well until that last second. Don't post the vile creature. She's not in this game. Zero's really go to show. There's like 6 or 7 points in the game. They're like really the big decider. They're really the big deciders. I say they tend to be Exile Doll, Hydro Camo, Momiji, Fearless Wind God, Fairy before Kaneko, or before Kaneko non-1, Chorus, Divine Virtues. Honorable mention to like every other Aya attack, but I put those a notch below. Oops, I should be over here. Okay, let's not make the same mistake as last time here. Not that I died, but I still consider it improper gameplay. Get buttered for leaving it out. I wouldn't consider anything on stage 1s across Touhou to really be a problem in that regard. Now, someone's gonna talk about, like, Seirin, or I could even bring up Yamame Nod 1 for its cringe. And Bumper Crop, absolutely, but... I don't really think stage 1 can really be a wall, more than it can be more than like a mental wall of like just some days you're just sitting there clicking clicking escape R over and over and over again. I classify bumper as something almost different, something different and malicious, but in nature. I'm scared of having to do Kaneko and pace whenever I get there. Eventually. It is going to be a real stressful, real brutal time. So, wow, you didn't have to do a link? The size of the Empire State Building. What is this? I see. Okay. This is why 11 uses cat box for everything. Shortens the link down. Listen, I've had to set up Hunger Games simulators before. You learn the pain of having to try to find workable links to images that aren't what some of them are. Fuck you. Hey, Kaneko, it's me, I'm back. You remember me from, like, 30 minutes ago? Who is it that calls for me? She doesn't remember me! Unbelievable, Kaneko. After all I've done for you. First attack in the game right here. I can't wait to die to this second run because I'm like completely thinking ahead and forget what to do here. Ooh, almost bait her the wrong direction. Ooh, getting bailed out sometimes. You know, this is... That... What the f... This is not the first time I've gotten bailed out by an accidental micro on, Kaneko Non 3 in the past week. Nice. Don't forget to kiss your Kaneko. See, after all I do for you, Kaneko, and you forget me. Cannot believe you. Sometimes you have a stroke. Now that happened on pace. Now that would be really funny. Yeah, she's just like, ego. Oh, you're right. I still cannot get over how good that Iku's sprite is. Like, not gonna lie, Iku's normal sprite and stuff, and like all the sprites I've seen are always like okay, in my opinion. Like, I've never particularly loved that sprite, but that sprite in 2.5, Eye Attorney, was phenomenal. Absolute peak Iku design. Well, in my heart of hearts, that's a 2 miss, even though it is a 3 miss. In my heart of hearts, it was a 2 miss. Back-to-back really good runs, too. I mean, there was like a bumper crop death in the middle, but... I guess I was wrong. I guess I can bust twice in one day. Maybe just because you do a super good sprite of her. Maybe you'll bring it back in it won't be his next 2 spin-offs, Copium. I'm gonna get some guagua. I'll be back in a minute. I still got a little bit of time. That's a little late, about an hour 40. Ugh. It's a little late, but I'll give her another try, another round, another run, another shebang before I move to some ayayaing. I'll say that last run really can showcase. It really only showcases it to myself, but you can have like the 2 Peerless Wind Gods, that one and the one I did earlier. They both died with basically 2 seconds left on the clock. So they basically died at the exact same point, but one of them felt 10 times better than the other one. Really goes to show, it's just some, you really gotta just be seeing it right, and be in the right frame of mind at a given time. That's why I'm so concerned about getting the stage 6 on pace. Like, stage 4 on pace is not particularly stressful until Peerless Wind God. Like, prior to that, it's a little bit, like the moment I'm past Notori, it's honestly, it really doesn't get stressful until past Momiji. That's when it's like, ooh, hey, that's when, like, I'm like, ooh, something's cooking. So, until I'm past Momiji, I really don't feel a run being a run. But even on Aya, it's like, one thing that all of Aya except Peerless Wind God has, at least that in the final, is the fact that, like, there's a little bit of pressure, but there's still that feeling of, like, Peerless Wind God is yet to come. And, like, no matter how good you feel, you still have to deal with Peerless Wind God. So there's optimism, but it's not like it's that out there. It's when you're in the middle of Peerless Wind God and pace, that's when it really kicks up. And the moment you're past Peerless Wind God on pace, it really is like a, oh, this is very realistic now, or not very real. It's a very real run. But unfortunately, I've yet to make stage 6 on pace and feel how that is in this game, but I wonder if the pressure on Kaneko is better or worse in this game than compared to Oku. Because I think Kaneko is a marginally easier boss. Not by a large margin, of course, but I think it's a marginally easier boss than Oku. And I wonder if that belief will make Kaneko worse, pressure-wise. Because when I play PCB, like, even though I had yet to have an LNN, it's like, until I was past spam, it's like there's pressure, but the pressure is kind of getting a PB. The moment I get past spam, it was... You talk about heavy feelings, that's rough. Because the moment you're past spam and PCB, there's like this idea that's like, you should have this. Even if you don't have like the history with Yuyuko to have it. It's like there's this idea that's like, oh, you should have the Yuyuko. Oku, you really don't have that feeling until after PETA. Where, like, the pressure hits, like, the pinnacle. Or the expectation, I should say, hits the pinnacle. Because, like, when I get to Oku, I'm like, okay. UNR is a problem. UNR and Petaflare just are such standouts. That's, like, it's not until after Petaflare when you're like, ooh. Like... It goes from, like, an idea to, like, this is almost the expectation at this point. I think the existence of Fearless Wind God helps with the fact that you are putting arguably the hardest or second hardest spell in the game at the very, very end. So you always know, and the fact that Taurus does exist. So, like, you always know there's that threat looming in the distance. Even if it's not a UNR level threat. You know that's still, like, at the end of the road, you still have to hurdle it. Even if it's not as hard as some other things, it's still hard. They keep some of your expectations in line. This is why LoL K is actually like the easiest game in the series. LoL K and Hidden Star. Because the hardest attacks of the run are the final attacks in the game. And they're really, really hard attacks. And they're like brutally hard attacks. So there's no expectation before them that you'll win until like you're literally past it. So then there's no pressure, right? That's how it works. And so it makes the games easy. Not gonna lie, LoL K is one of those games I'm tempted to go to next. But the thing is, and the reason I'm really hesitant about doing it, is just... My biggest motivator for wanting to play LoL K next is spite. Akihuman. It's spite. It's nothing more than just spite. Ah, piss butt. Perfect. Yeah, the gas bladder that keeps a fairy afloat is a delicacy among yokai. Well, fairies come back, right? Like, if you kill a fairy, they've come back. So, theoretically, if you... Could you do, like, fairy trafficking, where you, like, just, like, keep harvesting their, the gas bladder that keeps them afloat over and over? Yes. Ha, get rich quick scheme found. Okay, Gabe, it's 8:45. You got my attention for a tiny bit before I move to the next. Hello, 11. Probably shouldn't expect anything based on how much I've been given already today in this game. Whoop! Fairy organ harvesting is hot right now. It's actually relatively cool out. I guess it's late September, so, or mid to late September, so it's the season. Where are the fall-based fairies? We need more fall-based fairies. Like, obviously we have Chirino. I know Chirino summer, yada yada, but like, Chirino winter, come on. We got like Eternity and stuff, and then we got Lily White, the obvious spring, but where's our fall? They're glued in place, you're right. Chirino. Reimu is trying to steal your organs and sell them on the market. You need to eat glue in order to stop her from ripping out your organs. You missed the good runs, 11, I'm sorry. Also, you said Fairy Wings, not Fairy Wings, so typo. Skill dip. Denied sponsor. Potato. Well, she ain't getting the potato because Reimu's taking it and eating it for herself. Rico's kind of pathetic. What are you talking about? She's probably one of the worst, and by worst I mean hard. She's definitely on the harder end of Stage 1 lunatic bosses. At least in my opinion, but I feel like if you ask like Alan or someone else, you'd probably get. She's not the hardest. No shot. I'm gonna say she's the hardest. She's definitely up there. That's easy. Well, the problem is Bumper Crop. That final is... It's deceptive. Because it can be really easy. But it's really a spell that was what we call bad spell design, or good spell design. In that... It's not good spell design. And it's a very frustrating attack. Okay, her first 3 attacks are fine. Like, there's really not much thought put in. Like, there's not a lot of effort usually put into them. But, like, Bumper Crop or Final, you gotta put some respect on that name. Because it can and will be stupid. What stage? What would I lean as stage? Crop is that bad? It's not that it's that bad, it's that it can be that bad. The problem with Bumper Crop is there's 3 different types of things. He shoots out the red lasers in a consistent, like, ring. Then she shoots out the bullets, and then she also shoots out the yellow lasers, which are the random angled ones. Whole year of LNN. Yeah, I've totally been playing this for a whole year. The problem is... The yellow lasers, first of all, they spawn way too quickly. They spawn way too quickly. From visual to when the laser actually appears. Compared to a lot of lasers, your reaction time on Bumper Crop is extremely shallow. It's extremely short. Couple that with the fact that she can just roll the dice on you. And that's that. Like, if you look at the emote that Kageyama posted called Good Spell Design, you will see one of those instances, now that is a particularly very, very high roll, of just what she can do. Sometimes she just happens to overlap things. Now, the reality is, when it comes down to Stage 1 bosses, is the bar is not that high, right? Like, you have Seiren up there, and the bar is not super steep around that, per se. So I'm not going to say that Miriko's the worst. In fact, I might say she might be easier than Yamame. Or at least more consistent, because of... I think Yamame has a better odds of getting worse RNG. Although, even Yamame's worst RNG you can at least play out of, while Minariko you kind of can't. And Nazaren's a little gross, but I would not put her, like... I wouldn't put her second to Seiren. I couldn't do that. I'll ignore PC98 for a second, because I'm not as familiar with those Stage 1 bosses. I played them before, but I'm not super familiar with them, but, like... I'd say Minariko is worse as in harder than both Rumia and Chirino, and probably Wriggle. I guess, maybe not Wriggle, because Wriggle has her, like, last word that you have to worry about, and with that, it probably puts her over the top. Beaten as and she gets away. I feel like that's true for a handful of characters. Or that argument could at least be made. Minariko versus Yamame. I'd probably give it to Yamame, but I think it's a little debatable. I think Yamame is a little more consistently annoying with her non-1, with getting bad RNG, but you can play out of Yamame non-1 bad RNG, whereas Minariko is a lot worse to play out of, and you could just get high rolled. Minariko is probably more frustrating because your reaction time... Act a human, by the way. Because your reaction time on Bumper Crop is so much worse than your reaction time on, like, Yamame. Because at least with Yamame, you see the bad RNG coming ahead of time. So you can really be ready for it and really prep around it. Well, Minariko, you don't have luxury with time. I hate this attack. Literally free. Nazarin. I feel like I remember near the end of my 1cc grind, I was pretty damn content with Nazarin. But I don't know if I returned like what my thoughts would be for LNN purposes compared to like Minariko, so I don't feel comfortable talking about Nazarin in that regard. Yuyuko... I don't know, Yuyuko's long. Is she worse than Minariko? Maybe? Probably not. Maybe just because she's long. Government base spirit species against Tokyo. Season 1s are required. Waggy Sag is probably harder than Minariko. But I can't speak for show, for sure. Seiren's like the worst Stage 1 boss. I can't speak for Touhou 20. Cannot speak for Touhou 20. Seiren's probably the worst. I don't think there's a question there. Eternity's probably harder. But I also... The problem with the later games in the series is I spent less time getting the 1cc with them, so I'm less familiar with them. Where like Rumia, obviously Letty, Yamame, Minariko I'm very familiar with because I've spent LNN grinds on them. And some other bosses like Wriggle and Rumia I'm very familiar with because I've spent so much time in their games, like when I originally was getting good at Touhou. But some of the later ones I've spent very little time on. Like, Aika pissed me off. But I also only played that game for like 4 or 5 days before I got the 1cc, so I didn't like have the time to get good at her. Was a beautiful spell. What are you talking about? Tori's spell 1? Or are you referring to something else entirely? Are you making a joke about trauma being a good spell? Take it, it's like, no, we turn to get away. You can't hear it. Stage 4, the Stage of Hopes and Dreams. Stage in most Touhou games where shit's like, okay, what if we actually like really tried hard to kill you? Momiji, have I ever told you how beautiful you are? That was very unpleasant. That was also very unpleasant, and I did it to myself that time. Pops you. What do you mean by pops easily? That sounds weird. Not that I'd ever make any weird and questionable comments. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the egg conversation? She exploded. Well, she did. I mean, the reality of Momiji is she is Would I say Momiji's the third hardest part in the game? That's debatable. Top 5. So getting past her is always a breath. She is rough. I don't think I'd say she's third. I think I'd say she's top 5, though. Debatable. Somewhere in the 3 through 5 range. Some people might say she's honestly harder than Divine Virtues. I wouldn't agree with that, but I can understand it at least. Oh, whoa, 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 what was that? Reimu hated animals. Reimu hates everything. Like, Fearless Wind Guy is gonna be... Not Fearless. Root Across is gonna be fine, then there's like... What if there was a second bullet behind the first bullet that you didn't see at first? Everything because she's always grumpy? No, she's always grumpy because she hates everything. Yeah, that's how it works. When you get to Fearless Wind God in pace, you will die. When you get to it non-pace, you won't die. That's a very, very nice Fearless Wind God, though. Very happy with how I played that one. Why she has so many friends? That's because Reimu is in a high status position in Gensokyo, so everyone tries to woo up to her in order to also be in a high status position. Although, actually, really more importantly, it's just she doesn't have friends. Other people make her their friends. She doesn't make other people her friends. Like, come on. Okay, did she invite the 3 fairies to live at her shrine? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they just invited themselves. Did she invite Suika to live at her shrine at times? In all the parties? I don't think so. People go to Reimu whether or not she likes it or not. Airbnb, yeah. Okay, Clown PCZ. You think she invited Clown Piece to her shrine? I don't think so. I don't know if Yukari wants to be friends with her, per se. I think it's just Yukari is like, well, she's the maiden, she's gotta do the work. Also, Yukari's lazy, so she wants Reimu to do all the work. Although every Touhou character is lazy and wants Reimu to do the work. That's the other thing. Every Touhou character is incredibly lazy, and really just every time something happens, they just want Reimu to take care of their problems. So they bring their problems with Reimu to annoy her enough to where she has no other choice but to solve the issues. Makes us stick at things, though. Yeah, but it does seem to be pretty effective, if I were to say so myself. Yeah, isn't lazy? That's true. She's pure and honest. You can believe her. What, Mosesing they miracle? Neat. I really got greedy for like a tiny bit of score there, didn't I? My favorite pastime. What the frick are you doing, Fairy? Oh my god, I didn't pick up the power. Oh, I'm not even at max P right now. That fairy is a big example of this game giving and take a thing away at times. You don't have to go that far over to the left, Kaneko. Imagine Lunarians become disciples of Miko. Do you think Fudo would be a good teacher for them? What kind of question? I'm gonna say no. You fucking piece of shit. I hate Divining Crop. Don't forget to kiss your Kaneko. Lunarians want to be like Celestials. Yeah, but we know that the Lunarians and the Celestials think each other are stinky. Okay? We know that Tenchi and Aaron think each other are very smelly, so... That was not very pleasant, Kaneko. That was also very unpleasant. Although that last one was entirely my doing. Or mostly my doing. Ooh, I need to micro that one. Ooh, my goodness. I thought I actually microed that one. It's Jover. It's okay. I had two perfect Kanekos earlier. I guess I'll have to take those. Would Marissa make a good landlord? No. Okay. 6 misses a little whatever, but we've also got a 2 miss and a 3 miss earlier, so pretty damn shoddy nonetheless. It's gonna be it for now, though. We'll be back tomorrow for the usuals for this.